We just launched this platform called Decision Makers, and it allows elected officials to directly respond to all constituent campaigns on the site, all petitions on the site. It aggregates all campaigns for every elected official in America. We launched initially with Representative Paul Ryan and Senator Elizabeth Warren, and getting a huge amount of excitement, I think, surprisingly in some cases, from members of Congress about the ability to directly communicate back with their constituents. And we're also really excited about locally. So Mayor Ed Lee just announced he's going to be doing the same thing, committing to responding to his own constituents' concerns, not just every 2 or 4 or 6 years, but every single day. And what's exciting about this is not just the accountability, but from the inverse side, if you talk to elected officials, they're not all that bad. They're people who face really bad incentives. Because if it's the case that not most people spend any attention at any point in time at most of their votes, they have an incentive, if they're looking at their electoral prospects, as we all know, to sort of defer to special interests, because the money it's not that they care about the money intrinsically. They're not corrupt in the sense that they're pocketing that money. It's that money buys attention, which buys votes. But if you have a mechanism, a system by which citizens are much more engaged in these decisions, are much more aware of the consequences those decisions have on their lives, and therefore more engaged in electoral politics, they'd much rather have direct communication with their own constituents. And what's remarkable when you're talking to most political actors, like we are right now, is that it's actually really difficult for them at scale to touch and communicate with their constituents. If you're Mayor Ed Lee, and you want to communicate with a substantial percentage of San Francisco, you don't actually have a whole lot of mechanisms for that right now. Local broadcast media is almost not watched at all. Twitter and Facebook are decent, but no one really follows him. And it's a case much more than other elected officials. But generally speaking, there's not a lot of content consumption. And the best case scenario, he's got like A1 and the San Francisco Chronicle that maybe like 10,000 people read through the filter of media. But what's enabled now is when citizens directly petition elected officials at much greater scale in tens of thousands of constituents, and the ability for elected officials to directly communicate back in a really exciting way, then individual citizens can follow back up with them as well. So not a one-way, but a two-way dialogue in a very exciting way. And so we're tremendously excited about this, and we're rolling it out. We did the mayor of Barcelona, the mayor of Melbourne, a huge number of officials across Western Europe are going to start to use it, and we think it's going to be really big.